Well, actually, we talked about Jayson Tatum. What does Jayson Tatum need to do to get some more love?
That's exactly
Nothing.
For real, tell you.
Nothing. I don't know what else he got to do.
Light-skinned hate? Yeah,
It's crazy.
It's prevalent.
Nothing. He's been putting his head down.
Nothing he can do.
He's put his head down and work. That's all. What he is doing now was what he needed to do, and it's still like not enough.
There's nothing Jayson Tatum can do.
You think they're gonna finish one?
He could.
Yeah.
If he start dunking on
it has to be an illusion. Like he literally has to do stuff that has nothing to do with the game. Like on a fast break, throw between his legs. Blah, blah, blah. Like do something that is just 2 points, but it looked great.
The last time we talked about Gilbert Arenas in his podcast, it was about what's more valuable, being entertaining or being a good basketball player. Now catching back up with the crew, they're discussing why Jayson Tatum won't be an MVP, and it has nothing to do with basketball. It's about not being entertaining enough.
No, but they gonna hit
Hit a
it.
game winner, do one of these, do the cold. Like it's just
No, they gonna kill him for it.
Nah, they wouldn't
Yes,
kill him
they
for that.
will.
He's
They'll
too
be like, look
boring
at
right
Jayson
now,
doing
bro.
that's
Tatum is
boring.
I think that's what it is. Then he's boring.
He's boring.
His other running man.
Light-skinned dude shooting threes with a jersey.
What's boring about winning though?
No.
Exactly.
Huh?
What-
They made it.
Y'all think he's boring?
He is boring.
No, I mean-
watching Brown. I said, ooh, Brown might got some.
Like nah, just like
Brown gonna get it to
Yeah.
Jason, he gonna be over there like kind of like
Tatum don't flex. He don't flex.
yeah.
He just play. But
I
that's
know.
why I
too
love them on the
vanilla,
court
man.
together because they're so
but-
opposite.
No, but think about it. When you're voting,
Jaylen Brown,
when you hear his name, what do? Tatum. Like
Now, McCants wasn't on this episode, so he wasn't part of the discussion. But he should have been, because this is just a continuation of what they were already talking about. What's more valuable, being entertainment yourself or winning? The conversation surrounding Bronny is more so, is he even an NBA player at all? And what value does that bring any team? Gilbert Arenas' argument was that he sold tickets, he sold jerseys, they sold a whole bunch of jerseys. 500,000 was the number they used last time. Do you agree with that? For a pro athlete playing a competitive sport, is just being entertainment more valuable than winning championships? They will continue to argue about who's tougher, who's the toughest Celtics ever. That conversation isn't as interesting as this main one. Do MVP voters prioritize highlight reels over actual stats and winning and championships? Or at least a potential to win a championship? Or being the best player on the best team?
it makes you think about what is he doing?
Yeah,
the numbers are like he does it like like when you're watching him, you go to the box score and say, oh shit, he got 28 today.
Right.
There's nothing during a game that shows you he's balling. And but that happens to people, right? When Giannis is playing, Giannis can have 14. It looked like it was 40, just the way he's doing it.
Yeah.
And that's what sticks in people's voters' mind, because you gotta remember, you got voters all around the world that's not watching the game. They're not watching the game. People in Toronto's not watching. I need to watch Jayson Tatum, right? They just watch whatever they're going to watch, and then they're voting off of what they think.
And when
it's more visual. Like Ja right now. Ja looks like he's averaging about 30 from the shit we see. The highlights, him jumping over people. Like, we don't know if it's this year, last year. We don't know which highlight it is. We just like, oh shit. Get him, young fella. Ja back.
What if he averaged 40 this month?
Who?
He got his
how?
It's
still
but 40-40 though.
No, it ain't.
No, it ain't.
It ain't.
Because he had, 50 last year?
I mean, if he averaged 40, that means he's going to have a couple 50-point games.
But it ain't. Like when De'Aaron Fox averaged, when he did that, nobody.
Man.
Everybody was like, oh, he did what? Man, 3 games? Man.
That was crazy.
Good shit.
Yeah, that was a crazy stretch of
when
games.
Melo did it, was
like,
everywhere. When Melo did it, was everywhere.
When Melo did it, they were like, God.
Like the same thing.
Look at Melo.
Yeah. De'Aaron, we don't even know if Melo won any of those games. But how he was doing one-legged step back on somebody, like it was. It's perception.
People in the comments of the previous video, shout out to y'all, were saying people are slow thinking the arguments are real. First of all, we're not slow. I like to call it cruising speed. Second of all, they're not beefing. It's clearly not real, as in they don't like each other. But the arguments are true. They're really debating what's more valuable. Just being entertainment or being part of the team that wins the most. That used to not be a competition, but now there's a legitimate debate going on this podcast. They don't really focus on it, but it comes up every episode, and we're gonna continue to track it. And also in the comments, someone said 2 things. Gil's show is entertainment. They're not supposed to agree. Fair. And then secondly, Gil trained Bronny when he was in the 8th grade. So there's a direct connection. That explained a lot in regards to how Gil feels towards Bronny and how he brings him up in random places. But the argument is still true. And then shout out to Will, who left this great comment talking about how he feels like basketball is losing its identity as a sport and is becoming more like wrestling. He said, quote, "This proves what I've been telling my friends for years. Basketball is no longer a true sport. Winning or losing is secondary to revenue. This is a result of owners putting more emphasis on entertainment than winning. Star players are moved around like baseball cards, not to bring wins, but to bring more revenue. The best players want to win, and the owners leverage that against them to manipulate lower salaries. Imagine how much more competitive the league would be if long-term players were given team stock. This process, meaning the one we have currently, makes losers out of the players and the fans, and winners out of the owners and TV advertisers, like wrestling." Do you agree with him? Let me know in the comment section, or respond back to him in the previous video. Either way works. Peace.